Lionel, this video is for you. You said that you made a video of me falling down the stairs, which I consider equal to a version of domestic violence. You can't scold somebody for doing something or saying something and then you do it, okay? I didn't say I wanted to throw anyone down the stairs. I didn't say that. I said when this woman, was harassing me relentlessly for hours in your chat, I finally said, hey, why don't you watch the stairwell? Okay? It's different than saying, I want to push her down the stairs. Now, Todd, who I have more compassion for because of the abuse she takes from the Southern stalker, and I can relate to her rage where she was so pissed off, she was foaming at the mouth. I actually understand that kind of rage. I felt it today myself about the nasty slander coming from that Southern stalker who is stalking me, Lionel, and Jack. And I defended Lionel against the stalker. I defended him and said he was absolutely not a pedophile and he was not, after children. And I stood by that, and I stood by him. And what does he do? He makes a video of throwing me down the stairs. Now, you can't scold me for saying a comment about a stairwell and then make a video of me falling down the stairs and crashing at the bottom of a staircase over and over and over again and think you're better than me. You literally made yourself a little bit worse than me. So you see the hypocrisy? You're like, oh, you did this, so I'm going to do that. Well, you are just as bad then, or actually worse. I didn't make a video of somebody falling down the stairs. I said, watch the stairwell, and you laughed every single time, and she said, don't worry, it doesn't bother me. So then, on his birthday, he makes a video of me falling down the stairs repeatedly. I consider that domestic violence, and I call it domestic violence because it's like you and I have known each other a long time. I've been on your panel a lot. You have used my content for your content. And so we have a situationship and actually, in a way, a relationship-ish. And situationship is probably more accurate. But for you to make a violent video about me where I'm getting hurt in that video, that goes into my brain as this man is violent. This man is an abuser. This man, if I was with him, it would be domestic violence. I look terrible. It's the middle of the night. I can't really do much about it. But I needed to just say something because I did end up watching some of his birthday live where he showed several times. And then he showed this to the woman that I made the comment who was hired to abuse me for quite a long time. And she continued to abuse me, and she used to make fun of, and she makes fun of my dancing, which he doesn't like, but he would prefer he thinks that it's catering to this woman. Now, I have to wonder, since this woman does have a wheelchair, and if she thought that was funny to see him put someone in a wheelchair and throw them down the stairs. He actually threw someone down the stairs in a video. He made an AI image of that. I said, watch the stairwell. That's what I said. I didn't say, sure, it was like a roundabout suggestion. Now, Todd actually did make a video saying she wanted to throw me down the stairs. And she commented on it. She said she admitted that she said it. I don't know if she said she regretted saying it or if I don't remember her follow-up comments to that, but she did admit saying it. And now, does he make a video of her being thrown down the stairs? No, he makes a video of me being thrown down the stairs. Somebody he has claimed to love. Many times he said, I love you, Rose. He's made videos. I love you, Rose. Your emails really touched me. And then he makes a video of throwing me down the stairs. So I consider him a violent abuser because throwing me down the stairs, he doesn't like that I say this and that. He threw me down the stairs in a video, okay? To me, that's worse than saying, watch the staircase. watch the stairwell. I never said I wanted to throw her down the stairs. I never said that. You put words into my mouth. You also said that I admitted to being in acting school with somebody I've never met, who I also was trolled by. I said I was not in school with her, and he said, "Oh, she said she was." He half tells the truth about me and half lies about me. He did tell the truth about some of the stuff with my mom, but he lied directly. Now, it could be because he gets it wrong in his brain, but he actually did say some truthful things about what really happened with me and my mother. Now, this stalker from the South, her mother is also dead. I don't talk about her relationship with her mother. I don't rewrite her life. I wouldn't do that. I'm not sick like that. I don't need to take her memories. And I wasn't there. She never, ever talked about her mother. Not with me. Never once in all the time that she was following me and my journey with my mom did she ever mention her own mother. All she ever talked about was her son. And God forbid you ever say anything about her son. Now, if you think it's sick for people to talk about your son, Southern Stalker, do you think you're being sick by talking about my dead, deceased mother and Linda? And by the way, Southerner, you got it wrong. Linda died before my mother. So it wasn't that my mother died and then I went after Linda. Linda, who was the only one who helped me with my mother when my siblings abandoned the situation and left me to deal with it myself, which was very scary for me. I was terrified. I was really scared. I knew, first of all, and then she acts like this Southerner who's been stalking me from Mississippi, stalking me for years and slandering me and acting like I avoided her all these years. She throws the cops at me. She emails me. She gets in my business. She focuses on my life. She rewrites history. She's constantly judging me. She's the most judgmental person I've ever met. I can't express how much I wish I'd never met this woman. And I saw this video where she had up close on when I had hit my head on the car door. I was slipping on the ice. It was the ice. I never drank and drove. Ever. I hate that she acts like I did and she keeps saying it. Do you know how annoying and irritating and violent that is for you to keep repeating the same lie over and over about me when it is a lie and you cannot prove that you're right because you weren't there, Donna. You weren't there. I can't tell you how much of you're like an annoying giant mosquito that just buzzes in your ear, won't stop. I would just, oh God. I can sympathize. And now Todd, she wanted me also to fall down the stairs. But does she get shit for that? No, only privately in my world do people comment on how sick it was that she said that. We don't talk about that publicly. She gets away with that because she's always talking about dying. If I said I was dying, do I get a pass? If I was always telling everybody how I was dying and I'm dying and I got this and I got that and showing these things, it's... I saw the video where she takes my material. She takes an injury that I got, falling on the ice and slipping on the ice, and the car door hit my head. And then later, I sort of got a black eye, which the doctor said was from like a reaction to the injury where the car had hit me on the head. I had fallen on the ice several times back then, and I'm afraid to go out in the winter time now. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to go out there. And that's why I was like, I got to move to a warmer place because this is really dangerous out here. And I was really worried about my mom falling on the ice. When you're alone taking care of your elder parent and you're really scared and you're very exhausted and you're trying your best to deal with the situation and you know that anything could happen any minute. I was living the end of my mom's life with her second by second by second by second, and any second could be the last. And I knew that when I got her because she had really declined in the nursing home that my sister had put her in. she had declined a lot, and I was shocked when I saw her. I was positively shocked. And when I picked her up, she wanted to come to Maine with me, I was not planning to bring her to Maine with me. That was a huge burden on me to have to take care of her. But I was willing to do it because she wanted to come, and she's my mom. So I said yes. And then once I got her to Maine, she didn't want to leave. And she was adamant. And then I had to deal with that. And then my siblings wanted her to go back to the nursing home, but mom didn't want to go back to the nursing home. And I felt for her, and we just got closer and closer and closer. And she just got so attached to me, and I could see that she was in distress, and she was getting older, and she didn't want to be left at that nursing home. She wanted to be with me, her daughter, and her own family. And I ended up becoming her mom. At one point, because that's what happens, your mom takes care of you, and she raises you, and she busts her ass. She does everything she can. I mean, in a normal situation, hopeful, healthy situation. And then, when she gets old, it's your job to take care of her. And I did do it. And I was afraid. I was scared. I was sad. I was grieving. I was shocked. I felt lonely because my sisters weren't helping me. And they weren't showing up in a healthy way. They were just making demands on me. And I was just under so much pressure. And then I've got this Southern woman screaming at me about salt because she doesn't know about salt, and she doesn't know about the healthy salt versus the unhealthy salt. And she's just in my face and in my shit and harping on me, acting like it's not. I didn't ask you your opinion, Southern stalker. I didn't want your opinion. And when you gave me your opinion, I heard it. And then I wanted to do what I do because I'm a grown woman. And that's my right on earth and in America to live as I see fit. And it is not your job to tell me or anybody else how to live, Southern stalker. You don't have that right. And yet you think you do because you have a God complex. And she shows this video of a black eye that I got from the door hitting my head, falling on the ice, not drinking. You cannot prove I ever drank and drove because I never did. And even if I ever did, which I never did, you can't prove it. You're not with me. You weren't there. You never once helped. All you did was attack and criticize. This is a woman who sees another woman in a very scary situation, taking care of her slowly dying mother, and all she can do is attack. That's who that's who Donna is. She attacks you when you're scared. She attacks you and criticizes you when you're losing your mom and you're grieving and you're terrified and you don't know how it's going to go and you're hoping for the best and you're doing your best by yourself. This woman from the South attacks. That's who she is. You're an embarrassment, and shame on you, Southern stalker, for attacking me when I needed help and I was doing my best and I was terrified. And I had to get my mom off of booze, and I did. I got her off of booze. You never got yourself off of booze, did you, Donna? Because you act like an alcoholic, okay? My body hasn't seen alcohol in years. You're not a good person, Donna. To attack someone who's under the worst, scariest, taking care. And where are your children, Donna? You attack me and criticize me about my mother, and I don't do the same thing to you because I don't know how you handled your mother. I just know you never ever talked about her. And it's none of my business. And so I'm not going to go into your life and rewrite history the way you do to me because I'm not sick in the head like that. And I have respect for other people's lives. You have no respect for other people's lives. This this Southern Baptist, mentally ill God complex that you have, I don't know if you were raised a Baptist, but I know, but it's like that kind of extreme idea that you get to call the shots on other people's lives. Who the hell do you think you are? You're so full of yourself, Southern stalker. And I don't know where this whole religious weirdo shit came in, where you think you're spiritual with Theost 153, which are like the worst numbers. I hate those numbers. They're odd numbers. I mean, I don't like odd numbers. I like even numbers. Lionel, I could see the sadness. It could have gone differently for you. It could have been something that maybe you felt uplifted by. For you to throw me down the stairs violently makes you just as bad or worse than anything I've ever said. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you think you're paying me back or proving something like, oh, I said this, so you're going to make it worse for me. You're going to I said, watch the stairwell is what I said. I never said I was going to throw somebody down the stairs. I wouldn't say that. Not publicly. I wouldn't say that. I didn't say it. I suggested watch the stairwell. That's what I said. That's provable because it's on your live stream. But he takes it and he twists it and he throws me down the stairs. So to me, that says if he was ever with me, he would throw me down the stairs and he would kill me. All these people, I think he's a murderer in there somewhere. And I think his family, did their best, and they did a pretty good job keeping him out of jail. And I'm going to give his Leo mother credit for that. I don't care what he says. I'm going to give his Leo mother credit. And the Southern Stalker is also dangerous. She's also, I think she's capable. She has threatened me with a murder-suicide. She has threatened to come to Maine many times. A lot of people have heard that. To kill me and then kill herself. Then you've got Todd, who also wants to hurt me and has made that public. So she's dying. So she gets away with violently threatening me because she's dying. So that makes it okay, right? So you're all in the same category. You all want to throw me down the stairs. Lionel and Todd expressed that they want to see me fall down the stairs and die or get harmed. So this is a very toxic, sick, and twisted world we live in with people who think that's okay. It's like that woman in the wheelchair was badgering me and badgering me and badgering me. She came from out of the blue. I didn't know who she was. Why don't you stop making videos about me, Sir Lord Dandy? I mean, when I get grok, I can make videos about you. And I will make, if I ever got grok, which looks like fun, I would make a video of you getting married to the Southern Stalker and walking into the swamp, holding hands, and just falling over and getting sucked down by quicksand. I could make that. But, I made a commitment when I came to this planet, despite my hot-headedness. Because my rage and my anger is righteous anger. It's like I'm pissed because there's a problem here. I made an agreement to come and help fix it, not become a worse part of it or another part of it that perpetuates it. It's very hard when somebody comes to attacks you relentlessly for months when you did not provoke them. You don't even know where they came from. And then you finally react. And oh my God, are you going to be punished for that? And those of us that came to this planet to make a change, it's one of the hardest things we ever did. And it takes every fiber, every bit of patience, every bit of grounding, every bit of calm that you can muster when what you really want to do is rage and get in there and fight. It is not easy to be up against people like Lionel and the Stalker and this woman named Dot, who I only, and that's not her real name, but I only can sympathize with her because of her experience with Sippy. And, but she too wants violence against me. And I need to walk away from all of that. But you can walk away. They come out, they chase you. And so, the best we can do, team, is go into your center let all of the exterior bullshit go into the core of your being, and just talk to yourself. Release the voices outside of you that are putting images of you being thrown down the stairs. That video you made, Lionel, makes you just as bad, makes you worse than me. Worse. Because I said it once, and no one has to hear it again. And that video can be taken down. But you're making a video, a visual. I just made a comment. And it was, watch the stairwell. And you laughed several times. And then you make a video showing your violence towards me. So you've exposed yourself. So I consider you a domestic abuser. And if you were in a relationship, you would be a domestic abuser. And I really don't appreciate all the negativity from you. I don't know you. You study me, you obsess over me, you make your life about me, and you push me away, you insult me, and you show violence towards me. So that's why I have pulled away. When I looked at you tonight, it wasn't there anymore. Because when you show violence to me, I'm not sticking around. Marilyn Monroe was married to Joe DiMaggio for years, however long. He actually hit her 3 times. The first time he talked her into coming back. Actually, I think he hit her twice. The second time, I think she was done. Because she is not going to be hit. A beautiful angel like Marilyn Monroe, who was a very special being, she's not going to let him hit her. And I don't think she went back. And they had amazing sex. She talked about how they had incredible sex. That was part of the draw of her draw to him. He was a famous baseball player, and but it was his violence that ended it. And she would not go back, and he was so sad, and he begged her to come back, and she wouldn't go back to him because after the second time he hit her, she was done. And he never got over her, and he never stopped loving her. And he always regretted what he did. And until the day she died and after, his whole life, he never forgave himself. And one time I was hit, and that's it. That was it. You don't forget that. Now, sometimes women go back to their physical abuser. I've gone back to verbal abuse and emotional manipulation, but physical violence, that's a real turn off. I'm not going to go back to that. It's that's a whole nother level. I wouldn't go back to a physical abuser. I don't like being hit. I will not. That kills the love. So I don't want to make this too long, because if it's over 20 minutes, it takes a long time to upload. But I do like to do 40, or 12. I would do like 24, 48. So it'd be 24 minutes and 48 seconds if I could do that and see how that goes. Yeah, the violence, you throwing me down the stairs. If you think that is something that I will ever feel okay about, or that you can explain away, no. You want me to fall down the stairs and die. That's what that says to me. That's what you want for me, Lionel. You want me to fall down the stairs. You push, and you want to be the one who does it. Over and over and over again. That's violence. That's actual violence that you're putting out there. And that means to me you're a violent man. You laughed at the joke I made to this woman who was bullying me for 2 hours before I made a single comment. A very, very mean woman who I've never met, who I never had beef with, who I don't even know, and I still am in shock that she's come at me, because but I know why she did it. She was hired to do it, and the whole thing sucks. And my friends and I, who like to hang out and talk about important things of value, we suffer. And it's hard for me to navigate exactly how to do this. I've had to just shut down, and that doesn't stop these people. So, yeah, I will talk more about this, I guess. I'd like to talk about Max Spears, but I'm going to wait for 24:48 and see if I can pull that off. And Hope you're all having a wonderful night despite all this. And I wish you all well, and I love you. And big kiss, and talk to you soon. Love you.